Men are created equal, but the cold, hard truths are that everyday decisions are made and goals are set. And as each day comes to a close, students and athletes from across this continent start to separate themselves from each other, creating different paths, and for some, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
To me, honestly, it's just the opportunity to be a part of history. This has been going on for years, long before I even knew what Penn was or anything about Ivy League football.
When it got down to it, I was deciding between Princeton and Penn, and the biggest thing for me was the rings. You know, it's a dominant football program here at Penn, and you know, I couldn't say no.
When I was being recruited out of Worcester Academy, I didn't even want to take a visit to Penn because I thought they were doormats of the Ivy League until I visited, and it's created a dynasty since.
I was fortunate enough to get a ring my sophomore year and my senior year. No one can ever take it away from you. And I think when you think about Penn football, you think about the kind of kids that we want to recruit, the kind of friends that we are, the kind of family that we become. It's about winning.
Having the alumni come in and talk to us and explain, you know, what their Penn career was like and how much it means to them, I feel like I'm just adding to it now, and it's really cool to be part of something that's a lot bigger than yourself, bigger than maybe even the team that I'm on right now.
There's no way that this wasn't the right choice because, you know, this is a championship program. You know, the goal at the beginning of the season is not to come out above 500. It's not to come out with, you know, one loss competing for the championship. We want rings, you know, and we've been getting rings.
2009 Ivy League Championship Trophy.
Penn Quakers are the 2010 Ivy League champions outright.
Al Bagnoli gets a Gatorade shower.
The everlasting images of 15 Ivy League titles in the past 30 years are embedded as a part of Penn football forever. And the journeys by those who don the red and blue are memories made and never forgotten.
We've had a bunch of memorable experiences. I would say a couple that really picked mine was that first championship back in 93 we had coming back. You know, we went from a program that had not had a lot of success. Coach's first year we went to 7-3, and the next year we run the table.
82 season, the Harvard win.
The one that everyone remembers is when you know, we won the 1982 championship versus Harvard.
I was on the field, and Gary Vera marches down the field with no time left on the clock.
It's long enough. It's good. Penn wins. Penn wins. Penn wins the Ivy League title. Penn wins the Ivy League title. I don't believe it. Penn wins the Ivy League title.
We had over 20,000 plus people, fans in the stadium, and they ripped up the goalpost and threw it in the Schuylkill River. I mean, that's something that you're always going to remember.
1993 Princeton game. First time that both teams were undefeated that late in the season playing against each other. We were able to really establish that Penn was going to be the team to beat in the league.
Cornell game back in 1994, we go up there undefeated and going from back-to-back undefeated seasons. I think the first time that might have ever been done in league play.
The score was 14-11. We were going to get 10 yards, kick a field goal to tie the game. The safeties split, and instead of running a 10-yard square in, I took it right down the middle of the field, and we won the game and set an NCAA record for longest winning streak.
When I think about Penn football, two things come to mind, and it's winning and it's people. And I think that when you're leaving college for the real world, it's scary. But when you've sort of been taught how to win, and you've been taught what it's like to be around great people and to have that support system, it really puts you in a situation where there's nothing you can't handle.
Part of that Penn tradition is the honor to earn a University of Pennsylvania diploma. With a graduation rate near 100%, Penn football alumni help serve as a limitless network to the world. These deep family roots have constructed a fluid cycle, from recruit to student athlete, and on to a leader in every facet of their lives and professional career.
Freshman year, I worked for a company called Hill & Knowlton, which is a holding company, but they do public relations. I worked down in Miami and had a great time. And this past summer, I was in Chicago working for a media agency called BPN.
One of the biggest advantages I had when graduating here and then going on to Wall Street is the first firm I was at, they wanted a rocket scientist jock. And I used to say, well, I graduated Wharton at Penn, and I played Ivy League football with the championship team, so I know I'm at least one of the two.
I've had probably 5 or 6 interns in the last 6 or 7 years from Penn, particularly Wharton undergrad guy. C.J. Mooney, we had for 2 years. At Hampshire, Jake Luco and Drew Goldsmith were both interns in 1 year, which was interesting. Good guys.
And now stripped of the football. Quakers have it, and they're running with it. And it's going to be a touchdown for Goldsmith.
I think when it comes to recruiting, I am always biased of looking at student athletes. And I have been pleasantly pleased, but not surprised, that the Penn kids who have worked for me have done an outstanding job over the last decade plus.
I've been going through the whole process right now in terms of, you know, all the networking opportunities that the coaches have brought in alumni and, you know, giving us these opportunities to speak to, you know, people that could potentially be deciding our fate and reading our resumes later in the year.
The reason that my parents convinced me to go to Penn and to turn down the scholarship offers, they said to be in that type of environment around those type of people with that kind of education, it's going to open doors for you, and we don't know what those will be, and that's exactly how it happened, where Joe Beggins, who was 4 years ahead of me, said, you know, would you have interest in being a trader? And at the time I didn't even know what that was. Now I'm fortunate enough to be the co-head of equity trading in the Americas. I owe it all to Penn football.
Getting the internships was easy coming from Penn with the alumni networks that we have. The coaches help out. And you know, football's huge. People like to see, you know, that you're a student athlete on a resume, and just kind of go into the database and the network of people that have graduated from Penn and all the great jobs they have. Everybody knows somebody, and once you're part of the Penn family, honestly, finding a job or an internship really isn't too big of a struggle for a lot of guys on the team.
You know, even just thinking about the last 3 months, it's like I got the biggest promotion of my life. Had to make a couple hires, and the first thing I did is I called Pat McManus, who was a freshman when I was a senior, and I said, you got to come work with me. And now Pat's sitting next to me as my first hire.
I'm definitely looking forward to, you know, leveraging as many resources as I have through the program to put myself in the best position as possible.
These men look back and reminisce, appreciating the foresight and guidance to instill a concept of the future thought process, knowing the decision they made as a recruit definitely paid off.